Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Bob back once again, and you're joining me in episode 3 of the horror hangouts with Uncle Bob, celebrating Halloween 2024. And this episode is episode 3, and we are continuing with the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees franchise. And I'm going to be looking at the next 4 films in the Jason Friday the 13th franchise. So we're coming on to the 9th instalment. Obviously, it's not actually called Part 9, which it should be, but it's technically is Part 9. But obviously, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, which I think at the time they must have thought it was the final Friday. We're not realising there was going to be another 3 Jason films after that, or at least what we thought maybe back at the time. Jason Goes to Hell, and yeah. Now I think it's quite popular for what I've heard. I think people like it. Now let's do the good things about it and what's bad. To be honest, I don't think it's the best horror film. I certainly don't think it's one of the best Jason films. I think it's a bit all over the place. I think some bits are a bit too ridiculous. I think a bit of it's too silly. I didn't like the idea, to be fair, where you don't actually see Jason. I know what they're doing, whereas uh, you know, uh, he possesses other people, or you know, uh, you know, his soul ends up in other bodies and then ends up in another person's body. It's all that, and you don't actually see Jason. Wasn't over too keen about that, or rather, just you actually see Jason going around killing people, rather than opposed to soul being another human and going around killing people. But that's just my opinion, and I can see what they were trying to do with this. But that being said, but I don't think it's general. I think the acting in this is not great. There's some of the bits where it's a bit ridiculous, and some bits where even just stupid and silly. But with that being said, I think it is reasonably enjoyable to an extent. Maybe not some of the other Jason films, but I think it's enjoyable to some extent, and there is some fun moments in there. But it's quite quick. I remember when I watched this a little while ago that it was over quite quick. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's because he's only an hour and 20 minutes. They just seem to be over so quickly. I always feel the need to watch some of them again because they're just over too quickly. But I think this is fun to a certain extent. I mean, there's a few kills that are alright, and there's a few fun moments, and it's alright to an extent, but I don't think I like it as much as the other films, and I think it's just too silly in some places. Now we come on to Jason X, which is the 10th instalment. Now this is set years and years into the future. That's more of a futuristic space take on the franchise, Jason X, which is years and years in the future, and then Jason's killed like thousands up until this point, and it's set thousands of years into the future, or whenever it was, 4 years, I don't know, it might have been. Well, it's 24 or 55 actually, to be exact. And it's set into the future, so there's a more like sci-fi spacey type of twist on it. And now, again, like 9, I don't think it's the best horror film. There's a few bits that are quite ridiculous, but actually, I quite like this. I remember seeing it years ago. I'm not sure how I saw it. I'm not sure if I saw it. So it's 2001 or 2002, and I think I saw it like maybe a year after it came out or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, many moons ago. I actually quite liked it. and yeah, I think it's it's a futuristic twist on it. I think it's quite stylish and cool. As I said, I admit it's not the great best horror film anymore, but I think it's quite cool and quite stylish. I like the look of Jason in it. He's obviously got the old look first one, and he's got like more futuristic Jason. It's quite cool, and I think some of the kills are quite cool. I think it's generally quite cool all the way through, and it's just fun and enjoyable. It's certainly not boring. And I think in general it is quite a relaxing, enjoyable thing where you can just sit back and just relax and watch it. And yeah, it's just cool and just a different take on it. I think it is quite cool. And then the next one is, I have to say this next one is one of my favourite horror films. So you won't be seeing me say much. You won't be hearing me say many bad things about this. It's mainly going to be all good. The next one is, the 11th, I should say, in the Jason or Friday the 13th franchise is Freddy vs. Jason, which is obviously the crossover between Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Obviously, Freddy Krueger comes from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and obviously Jason comes from Friday the 13th. And they decided to do a crossover finally. After getting teased on the 9th, Jason Goes to Hell, they tease at the end with Freddy coming up with his hand and taking Jason's mask. And then you think, you know there's going to be a Freddy vs. Jason film, but it's not until years and years later. I think Jason Goes to Hell was 1993, and Freddy vs. Jason was 2003, so a 10-year gap. I don't know if it's supposed to be that long, but it was. Anyway, Freddy vs. Jason, the first ever, I believe, crossover between two horror icons, and just, a fantastic idea. I think there should be a few more crossovers, but I don't know if we're ever going to get them. But, this is just the two, maybe not the two top horror icons, but definitely two of the top 6 horror icons that meeting in a crossover film, which was just a fantastic idea. And it's just fantastic to have them both. Certainly two of my top horror icons, Freddy and Jason, and then having them in a crossover film was just a brilliant idea. And and I think it's a really, really good idea. I think the storyline with them involving Jason and Freddy is very good. I think the acting is quite good. I think the action scenes pretty good. I think the pace of it is good. I think it sets out good. I like a lot of the scenes in it. I think it's really fun and enjoyable. The kills are quite good, and to me, it's all good. Yeah, as I said, it's certainly not only one of my favourite Jason and Freddy films. It's one of my favourite horror films. I actually ended up watching it again because I just think it's so cool, and I think once isn't enough. It's over too quick, and I always want to watch it a couple of times a year. I just always enjoy it. And I think it's just one of them ones where it's really relaxing and just fun and enjoyable to watch. And I really like it. There's not much bad I can say about it. There's maybe a few things where the fighting between Freddy and Jason is a bit ridiculous. Some of the things that they do like some like wrestling moves on each other, which is a bit. Don't get me wrong, I like wrestling. I'm a fan of wrestling, but I don't think that looks good doing that in a horror film. Doing wrestling moves on each other. It's supposed to be a horror film, and people that don't watch wrestling, I'll know what it is, but people that don't watch wrestling might know what the hell's going on. And I don't think that should have been involved in this. I think they should, obviously have fight and doing stuff, but not doing stuff like slams on each other, where it just looks a bit ridiculous. I think some of the fighting between Freddy and Jason was a bit silly, but other than that, it's all good, and it's just one of my favourites. Now we come on to the last one in the Friday the 13th franchise, which is the Friday the 13th, the remake, which they made in 2009, and it's a pretty solid, good remake. Not like the Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street remake that I made, which wasn't that good. I mean, it was alright in places, but yeah, it just didn't have the feel to the first one. And Freddy, the mask, and it didn't look that great. And it was alright, but it wasn't that great. But I think this is a very good remake of it. I think they really done quite well on this. It's just good start to finish. I mean, it starts off really strong, Jason killing a group of people, so it's a very, very strong ending, strong beginning, I should say, and then it builds up to a next lot of campers. Obviously, Jason, yeah, so it's a good strong start. Then beginning, after the beginning, it's pretty good. It's got a good middle, and the ending is pretty good. It's good pretty much all the way through. The acting's alright, but not great. But yeah, I like the storyline. Jason looks pretty awesome in it and strong. I think the kills are quite good. I think it's generally. And again, another one that's sort of like one of those relaxing ones. We can just sit back and watch and then just enjoy it and watch all the fun unfold, all the kills, and it's just fun and enjoyable. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good all the way through, to be honest. Right, might not be maybe as relaxing as the old ones, but I think I just think it's a strong, not just really a fun element of it, but in terms of a horror film, I think this is quite good and probably one of the best horror films, and also one of the best remakes they've made. It's just really strong, and there's not much that's not good about it, to be honest. I mean, there's a few sort of like comical moments, but it's not comical where you think it's just stupid. It's all serious business, and I think it's quite strong and a good remake. And yeah, that is it for that, guys. That is the last 4 films in the Friday 13th franchise. So, guys, that is the first 3 episodes done on Jason Voorhees, and the next 3 episodes coming up are going to be Hellraiser and He Also Lies. So, guys, that's going to be the next 3 episodes. So, I hope you guys enjoy these horror hangouts with Uncle Bob. And that's the end of episode 3. So join me in episode 4. Watch the next video, episode 4. And see you guys soon.